Capcom, and speaking of Mega Man, that also came out this year, the original Mega Man.
All these things blow my mind.
December 17th, simultaneous release in North America and Japan.
Wow, I bet nobody played Mega Man for a little while though, because
it was not the first
I had to go back and play Mega Man because Mega Man 2 was the thing that really took off.
So the first one was not a huge hit, but it spread kind of by word of mouth, and that's actually how I heard about it. And then Nintendo Power totally blew up Mega Man 2. And that's where the series really
pictorial and Nintendo Power for Mega Man 2 was one of the best ways that I've ever sold on a game, because it showed like those giant creatures that you fight, and they were so colorful. It looked like nothing on the NES before that. And it talked about how good it looked. Like the magazine was like, look how good this game looks. I think you said like graphics. They used the word graphics.
Well, so this was my first awareness of the concept of graphics, because my friend at school on the playground was like, you gotta check out this game, Mega Man. It has awesome graphics. And I was like, what are graphics?
What is this you say?
It's what you look at in the video game. I was like, you're right. This game looks really cool.
I wonder what I would have even called them before I
never even referred to it. I never thought about that.
What it looks like, I mean,
exactly.
I remember looking at the box art to that. And, I would spend a lot of times, just a lot of time at the supermarket in particular. That's where I rented all my NES games.
Here.
And I would sit there and just look at the wall of titles, and the box art sold me on certain things and deterred me on certain other things. And I think Mega Man had like this really weird, dorky art, and then you flip it over and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, this looks kind of cool.
It did no favors.
It did no favors, but then you took it home and you're like, this is awesome. Like, it's maybe one of the times that works in reverse, where like the graphics in the game are actually better than what's being sold on the box.
I would love to know the story. Like, who made that art? Has the video game ever been more poorly represented than that original box art?
That guy.
It's the old man. His suit is yellow instead of blue. He's holding a gun with his hand instead of the arm cannon. Like,
even Mega Man 2, he's still holding a gun, I think. It's ridiculous. Maybe as a
Mega Man 2 box art is also bad.
It's also terrible, because Mega Man is a really cool designed character, and in Japan they always used his amazing little manga look and stuff to advertise.
He has the manga anime look. You must have thought
he was rock and roll.
They were deliberately trying to avoid making it look like anime, because they thought that would be a turnoff for North American audiences. Crazy.
I always thought that was way cooler. I was like, put that all over. Yeah, they had no confidence at that time. I think it's changed, obviously.
Capcom had been making arcade games for a while, and they'd ported their arcade games to the NES, but Mega Man was the first game that they made specifically for the NES.
That's so cool. And like that was the turning point. Like Nintendo was like, we're making our own games. We're not porting games. Nobody else is doing that. Nintendo ported a lot of games too. But yeah, it took a while for people to make dedicated games. Capcom had Ghosts and Goblins and Gunsmoke and stuff like that before that. But
it's Mega Man is another example of non-linear game design. Like we see this happening over and over again.
Choose the level you go to.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like 1997 was the year that the industry started letting gamers off the leash. Yeah, it's like okay, you're on your own now.
It's like having a level select code when you're a kid. You're like, well, at least if I have this for the weekend and I rented it from the local Hy-Vee, you get to like go to every single level and see all the game. It was like really meaningful.
The cool part about that too is, if you didn't have the right weapon for the boss, it's like if you're a really, really good player, you can get through Mega Man, get to the boss. But if you don't have the right weapon to face off against that boss, you're going to be shooting him with I called them eggs when I was a kid. You're shooting them with the eggs. It wasn't eggs, obviously.
Well, and in Mega Man 1, they have the different pellets that you pick up for life.
Right.
Like they standardized what Mega Man stuff looked like after that. In that game, there are even different life pellets that look like eggs.
But even the concept of like there's a certain boss order to travel through the whole game, and it would be much easier if you went about it this way.
It's the developers wanted to use rock paper scissors design, where one item is always most useful against another item.
And it's the idea that they kept for every
satisfying is
installment.
that when you go to that boss with the right weapon and you shoot him like 3 times, it feels so good.
Versus when you shoot him with the wrong weapon and you're there for like 10 minutes. Like,
every single boss, hop, 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 just firing constantly and hopping.
I think the other like little tiny detail that's like that made me excited about the game. Probably I'm the only one. I love the little door coming up, like click, 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 and then Mega Man like
you always
going
have to,
across
you have
the
to
screen.
Jump. You have to jump so that you stay in midair as the scene goes by.
Maybe I'm not the only one because you see a lot of art like that. Oh man,
well, Mega Man had a great jump.
He did.
Just in general, he just his arms are out in the air.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Like, nobody jumps that way. It's great. He's like, ah!
He looks like a crazy possum or something.
I never thought about that. Who is your favorite boss for the first Mega Man? I always like Bomb Man because he had a mohawk.
Bomb-Man was awesome.
Bomb-Man was cool. Guts-Man was the hardest level. So that's the one that
I like the
used to
name
start on and go
Guts-Man
to.
the best,
Yeah,
right?
that
Like
was me as well.
Guts-Man. I don't know what that even meant.
I don't know what it meant in hindsight either. Like, was it because he's strong? Maybe it's because he's strong.
It would have been so cool if he
It's a
was
cool
like
localization.
throwing organs at you. That would have been
He wasn't guts
better.
like
But there wasn't guts.
no.
about him.
It was construction themed.
Yeah, right. No, I know.
Guts in the
Guts,
building?
man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then the Iceman in that game is great too. Iceman, he has a little Eskimo thing.
Yeah, he looks like an ice climber. He's
Yeah.
one step removed.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, that's actually
Absolutely.
true. Jose, favorite boss?
I'm gonna go with Gutsman as well. Like I just thought it sounded cool. It didn't make sense, but
has a
it
big
didn't
jaw.
have to make sense when you were a kid.
Yeah,
he had
jaw.
that big defining jaw. That's a great
Speaking
point.
of strong jaws.